20 minutes of education.
We all know that the female body is some kind of a natural magic because it can carry another person. And we understand that there is a cycle and that every month something happens in the body. So in this video, there are scientific explanations of what mutations happen in the female body and why, how different phases of the cycle affect hormones and accordingly mood, and how to interact with this better. And all of this is explained in human understandable words without disgusting extra detailed video inserts. It's useful for both women and men to watch, to have a basic understanding of our life.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Thanks for the tip.
So what exactly happens? The menstrual cycle is a dialogue, meaning an exchange of information between organs. But since more than 2 organs are involved, it's actually a polylogue, because there are 3 participants: the brain, the ovaries, and the uterus. Right away, the functions of the participants. The ovaries are like a hormone factory and a huge storage of eggs. And the egg cell, by the way, is the largest cell in the human body because it contains nutrients and genetic material to start the development of a new organism. Also, in the ovaries, like in a factory, female hormones estrogen and progesterone are produced. These hormones prepare the body for pregnancy and are responsible for women's beauty and calmness because they directly affect psycho-emotional state, appetite, skin and hair condition, and mood. If something's off with them, it becomes noticeable. So this hormone produced in factory in the ovaries is very, very important. Next, the uterus. Here we see obvious multitasking. If the ovaries are a factory and storage, then the uterus is a luxury hotel. But at the same time, it's a construction site where active building is happening. What is being built is the endometrium inside the uterus, meaning the organ is growing another layer of tissue to become stronger and ensure safety for a potential embryo that could settle there. And this isn't just any tissue, it's literally a temporary hormone-sensitive organ designed to support early pregnancy. And when I said it's like a luxury hotel, I wasn't joking. Because this temporary layer in the uterus, besides a thick multi-layered epithelial surface, includes spiral arteries. These are highly specialized blood vessels, uterine glands that secrete nutrients, stromal cells, also known as stem cells, which can transform into cells that support pregnancy. And in this temporarily built layer, immune cells are present, tuned to tolerance, not attack. Nature has created the most comfortable conditions for a potential embryo. No spa will offer this to you.
Oh, okay.
But the special thing about this hotel is that every month, after being perfectly built with all the comfort inside, it's torn down. The brain literally says, this hotel wasn't booked this month. Tear it down. And that's why a construction site is needed every month to build another luxurious hotel and wait for guests, meaning the embryo, which may or may not arrive. I'll tell you a bit later about exactly what in the uterus gets destroyed and how, but for now, to keep this channel from being destroyed, I ask you to like and subscribe, because development is impossible without it. Thank you. The third participant of the cycle is the brain. It is the manager and the main director. The brain does not produce eggs and doesn't independently destroy anything in the uterus, but it sets the timing, gives permissions, and adjusts the plan based on feedback. Specifically, the hypothalamus and pituitary gland in the brain are responsible for menstrual cycle. The hypothalamus sends impulses which can be slower or faster, and this determines what will happen in the reproductive organs, meaning which phase of the cycle it will be. The pituitary listens to these impulses from the hypothalamus and sends commands to the ovaries, while the uterus reacts to signals from the ovaries and responds. And if there are no impulses from the hypothalamus, there is no cycle either. All reproductive system processes stop because the brain is in charge. It's the CEO. That's why stress, undereating, illness, or excessive physical activity, all these are signals at the brain level, can cause menstruation. So the cycle is from 21 to 35 days of work by these 3 instances: the factory, ovaries, the hotel, uterus, and the CEO, brain. from the moment the foundation is built to the demolition of the perfectly constructed hotel, ready to host guests. In the menstrual cycle, there is a certain chronology that doctors and scientists follow. So we'll run through the phases of the cycle in that order. And it starts completely illogically, with destruction. The brain receives a signal from the ovaries that pregnancy did not occur. But how exactly do the ovaries send this information to the brain? Email? Some text? Or Hedwig from Harry Potter? Unfortunately, the ovaries don't have any of these technologies, but they have hormones. And by the hormone levels, specifically progesterone and estrogen, the ovaries show the brain whether pregnancy exists or not. It's simple. If progesterone and estrogen drop sharply, the brain understands that pregnancy did not happen this time. The uterus also receives the same signal from the ovaries and starts partial self-destruction, specifically breaking down that brilliant, hyper-comfortable endometrium with all the cells, glands, and blood vessels. And this is actually an incredible process, because in response to the signal from the ovaries about no pregnancy, molecules are released that cause uterine muscle contractions. The spiral arteries that supply the endometrium narrow, causing oxygen deprivation to cells only in that specific area, and the cells of this build-up layer undergo programmed destruction. The brilliance is that the uterus performs what most tissues in our body cannot: healing without scarring. That is, this entire destructive process of a fully built system inside the organ happens, and afterward there is no trace, no scar. It's amazing. And this is the first phase, menstruation, meaning when bleeding occurs, as the destroyed endometrium leaves the woman's body. And this phase lasts on average from 3 to 7 days. During this phase, there are biological reasons to feel not great or even bad, because estrogen levels are low, directly affecting serotonin, the hormone of mood, energy, and memory. By the way, I have a separate science-based video about memory and how to stop forgetting. So when estrogen drops sharply, serotonin drops too, which can cause depressive episodes, irritability, fatigue, and brain fog. So don't be surprised or scared by these effects. Inside, tissue is breaking down. Next, the second phase is when the body gets a bit of hope again. The hypothalamus in the brain sees that estrogen and progesterone are too low and starts increasing the frequency of impulses. The pituitary responds to these frequent impulses and starts producing follicle-stimulating hormone. This hormone stimulates follicles in the ovaries. These are little bags in the ovaries protecting the eggs during maturation. So one follicle decides it's the main hero and not only actively prepares an egg inside, but also produces a lot of estrogen. And the increased estrogen literally reprograms the hypothalamus and pituitary. At this moment, the cycle moves into a new phase, ovulation, usually around day 14th. Estrogen is high, which creates stability for the brain and triggers positive feedback. The pituitary releases a surge of luteinizing hormone. This hormone makes the ovary release one mature egg into the fallopian tube, ready for fertilization. The fallopian tube is the meeting place for the egg and sperm. The egg is more vulnerable and lives only 24 hours, but the sperm, like a gentleman, can wait in the tube up to 5 days. That's how long it lives. In these two phases, there are biological reasons to feel better, because estrogen enhances dopamine and serotonin signaling, so mood, learning, and motivation improve. During ovulation, you can feel incredible. Estrogen peaks bring confidence, sociability, and a sense of "I own this world." It's a neuroendocrine event, and libido rises naturally to increase chances of conception, though mood can still be unpredictable due to hormone spikes. An interesting fact is that humans are one of a few species that ovulate without external signs, which is a bit strange. In other species, there may be loud mating calls, rhythmic sounds, color changes, and obvious behavior changes. In humans, ovulation is hidden, and it's almost impossible to track externally. One hypothesis is that hidden ovulation prevents males from knowing the exact fertile period. encouraging regular mating, constant partnership. That's a nature-designed mechanism promoting monogamy. Do you trust this hypothesis or think there are other reasons humans hide ovulation? Share your ideas in the comments. The final phase of the cycle is the comfort phase. The uterus becomes literally comfortable for a potential embryo, as this incredible hotel is being built inside, and the woman's feelings are calm, cozy, and reflective. Hormones protect the uterus, progesterone rises, and it has a calming, sedative effect on the brain. The body essentially shields the woman from potential stress that could affect potential pregnancy. If pregnancy doesn't occur, estrogen and progesterone drop sharply, causing irritability and mood swings. And the cycle starts again. Everything built in the uterus begins breaking down again. The menstrual cycle isn't just reproduction or something happening in the reproductive organs. The cycle affects brain chemistry, immune function, metabolism, and thermoregulation. It's one of the most complex recurring physiological rhythms in human biology. During the first menstrual phase, when hormone levels are low, metabolism slows down. During the second follicular phase, insulin sensitivity is higher, meaning glucose is used better, energy is higher, and metabolism is faster. I have a separate practical video on glucose spikes and how to normalize them without changing diet. Link in pinned comment. Cycle phases also affect the immune system. For example, during ovulation, there is a temporary drop in immune vigilance, allowing sperm to survive. The body's defense system is more vulnerable at this time. The menstrual cycle influences the function of all systems in the body. Sometimes the cycle can be disrupted. As mentioned earlier, this is a response to brain signals. Stress and fatigue increase cortisol, the stress hormone. And so progesterone also stays high. It signals the brain, we're busy. No ovulation now. So the brain doesn't send signals to the ovaries, and follicle growth slows or stops. Chronic stress makes brain pause reproduction. The body prioritizes survival over fertility. Feeling calm and relaxed is critical, otherwise reproductive function simply shuts down. And menopause, the end of reproductive function, occurs when ovaries stop responding, regardless of brain signals. The brain may want to continue reproduction, but the ovaries have already overperformed and produced nothing more. Menstruation is not just some random minor bleeding. This is a carefully planned endocrine process with feedback between several organs. It's literally a machine with a very sensitive mechanism, influenced by hormone levels, regulated by stress, illness, or even environmental changes. Knowing the complexity and multi-level processes the uterus performs, it's surprising how little attention this organ gets. It's amazing technology designed by nature. Please like and comment on this video and subscribe to learn more regularly. See you!